Hello and welcome to the SWRA podcast. Had a pause there. Where on this podcast we talk about aging, wellness, and wisdom, and they do intersect as we move through this stage of life. I am your host, Maggie Lazar, and I am delighted to have you on. If this is your first time, welcome. If you're a returning listener, I welcome you back. Today, I thought I would do a short one. Let's see if I can keep my word with this short comment about safety in retirement or while you age. Safety is something that is different from what we have experienced. People of color have experienced. Well, when I say we, not everybody experiences some of the same issues stateside, and we all know that. We're not going to have a debate about it, but safety is something that, as a single woman, we should always be aware of. And of course, this is different from the hyper alertness that we live with. When you were walking down the street or you see a cop's car behind you, that's different. But safety in general, those of us who've traveled, we basically collectively have a good sense of where we are, and we can kind of pick up vibes so we can maneuver ourselves throughout the world. But having said that, even the most seasoned travelers have fallen prey to being mugged or being pickpocketed or whatever, because crime is everywhere. But all we can do, we can't eliminate all the risks. All we can do is just be aware, take precautions as we move around the world again. But in retirement, because our reflexes are not what they used to be, sometimes, especially if we're looking to connect with other people, we are yearning for community. We are in a strange place and we kind of embrace everybody who comes in our circles. And this is where we kind of keep ourselves open to scammers and other folks, right? So, for example, if you are a single woman in a country like Panama or Ecuador or Mexico, there are some basic safety principle. You don't walk around in the city talking on your phone, unaware. Your phone could be snatched. You do not walk in public places with a backpack and your wallet in the back of it like a certain person that you know did. That was stupid, stupid. And I think we got to give ourselves grace that sometimes, even though we know what to do, we don't do it, right? But what I'm saying is having some basic principles of when you are out in the streets, you don't stay late at night. You're walking in packs if you have to walk, right? Like where I live, we have a nice Malecon, which is a path where you can do your exercises, you can jog and everything. But every so often, I will hear in the news that somebody got mugged or their phone was snatched because they were walking at a certain, time of the night. So when I walk in the evening, for example, I'll walk around 5, and then by 7, I'm home. Because if the sun starts to go down, then I don't want to be in the path of anything. So those are basic principles. When you are in public, for now, I use a crossbody, right? And even I'm always thinking the crossbody really should have the zippers on the inside. And you can put your money where your grandmother used to put it. I see people put money in their socks. You don't walk around with the phone in the back pocket of your jeans. I see that all the time. And I'm like, you are asking for someone to snatch your phone. And even if you're carrying a bag, because you're sitting, let's say, on a metro and you're on your phone, you're not paying attention, it is so easy for someone to just go in there in that bag and pull out your phone or something else. Listen, do not come to these countries and thinking that, oh my God, I'm so safe. And that's what happened to me. I was la 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 la, just chit-chatting, not paying attention. But I tell you right now, that's not gonna happen. Okay. Although another safety tip we tell people here in my part of the world, in the city, I'm like, don't really get into a cab by yourself because You hear too many stories. Just take to Uber. I don't use InDrive, so I cannot, tell you what to do with InDrive, but at least you have an option to share your location. Make sure your phone is turned on while you are in the Uber. Always make it look like you are checking the route to see where you're going, and then ask questions. If they go somewhere a little different, just follow that sixth sense that you have that something may be wrong. I remember I was traveling with my mother, who was elderly, and we were in Haiti at the time, and we were supposed to return to the airport. So we flagged the cab. We had our suitcase, and I said to the airport. But I'm always aware. I'm reading body language. And then the young man said, "Oh, I need to make a stop to go somewhere." So he pulls into a gas station, and he left my elderly mother and I in his car, and he goes off. And let me tell you, warning bell started running over my head. I'm like, this is not good. This is not good. So I say, Mom, let's get out of here. So we took our suitcases and we ran. We kind of crisscrossed, we didn't go straight line until we found another cab. You know what I mean? So you have got to use that sixth sense that God has given you. So do whatever you can. Do not, you don't speak Spanish, but if somebody is talking, you don't understand, hang up. Don't even pick up the phone. If somebody approaches you, keep walking. Let me tell you, you can never be too careful as an older person. You know about the skimming that goes on the phone, or your grandson. And with AI and that technology, they can't make anything sound like a family member. Have your wits about you. If anything feels off, go by that feeling and don't move forward. Especially don't wire money to people, don't give your personal information to anyone, and be careful who you allow in your circle to have access to your information. If you have a tribe, you have your sisters and your clusters, and you have someone you trust, that's different. But be aware. Be a very careful and seasoned person as you move through this crazy world. All right, sis? I know I'm not telling you anything you didn't already know, but sometimes it's nice to hear it again, right? I know I like to hear it again. Every time somebody talks about being pickpocketed and I raise my hand, I'm like, don't do, don't do what I did. Don't do it. Now I can laugh about it. It was not laughable, I can tell you. I was so hurt. All right. Have a good day. Be a good human and be safe. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Au revoir. À la prochaine. Bye.